Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the WUHD3-165-K wireless HDMI extension kit. This product was designed to make it incredibly easy for you to share all of your HDMI media content from one location with a second remote location up to 165 feet away over a wireless connection. The product fully supports 4K media content and is both HDMI 1.4 as well as HDCP 1.4 compliant, which means it's plug and play compatible with all of your modern media gear. The product also features local loopback functionality at the primary side, which allows you to enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously sharing it with your remote location. And the kit includes a set of infrared blasters that will effectively pick up the control signals from that secondary location from your remote control and then send those back digitally over that wireless connection to the primary side where they're rebroadcast so you can control the content you're watching. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you all the components that are included with the kit. And then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and the receiver modules, and I'll explain the connections and indicators so you understand exactly how to use them. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how easy this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get into the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find two 5-volt, 2-amp DC power supplies. You can simply plug these into any standard wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the back of the module and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll find a set of brackets you can use to mount these modules up off the ground and out of the way if you choose to do that, and a set of infrared blasters, and these are different, so it's important you plug them into the correct module, and that's explained in the manual, but essentially, this one will pick up the signals and transmit them over that wireless connection, and this one rebroadcasts those signals at the primary side. And then finally, a full instruction manual is also included that tells you everything you'll need to know about this solution, including connection diagrams, specifications, and a lot of other really good information that you'll need to understand in order to use this product correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both modules, I'll list the features and functions, and then I'll come back and do that demonstration. The kit includes both a transmitter module and a receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable and really a great choice for both residential and commercial installations. Let's start with the transmitter module first. On either side of the cabinet, you'll find ventilation slots that are designed to let any heat that develops during operation escape and keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. On either side, you'll also find mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the front of the module, starting on the left, you'll find a power indicator. The minute you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test where it checks the electronics. Once it passes that test, it'll light that LED, letting you know the module's ready to use. To the right of that is a Wi-Fi indicator. Once you power up the transmitter and the receiver and they connect over that Wi-Fi connection, this LED will come on, letting you know you have a solid connection between the two modules. To the right of that is a status indicator. Once you connect this to a media device and start sharing media content with the remote location, that will come on solid, indicating that media transfer between the primary and secondary locations. Under normal operation, all three of these should be on. To the right of that is a channel selector button. You can tap that to change the channel that the transmitter and receiver communicate over. On the rear of the unit, you'll find two antenna studs right here. You can take the antennas and finger tighten those on and point them straight up. On the right-hand side, you'll find an upgrade port. It's a micro USB port that's used for upgrading the microcode later if needed. And to do that, you'll connect this to your computer, move the firmware file over to the module to complete that upgrade. To the right of that is a full-sized HDMI port labeled HDMI in. This connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. The transmitter module features local loopback functionality, which allows you to enjoy the content here that you're sharing with the remote location. And to take advantage of that feature, you can connect another HDMI cable from here to a local monitor to enjoy that content. To the right of that is an infrared blaster port labeled IR out. Make sure you plug the correct module in here. This actually transmits the remote control signals from the remote location. Finally, to the right of that is a DC input port, and that's used with one of the power supplies. You can simply plug that power supply into a wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there, provides all the power you'll need for the module. The receiver module is very similar. Again, you've got ventilation slots on both sides, mounting holes as well for the bracketing kit. On the front, power indicator, Wi-Fi indicator, status indicator. All three of these should be lit at the remote site. Channel selector button right there. On the rear, you've got two antenna studs. Again, finger tighten the antennas and point them straight up for best reception. Micro USB port for upgrading the firmware. Another full-sized HDMI port labeled HDMI out. You'll connect the cable from here to a local monitor at that remote location to enjoy the content on. Always use a high-quality cable for all your HDMI connections. To the right of that's another infrared blaster port, and this one's labeled IR in. So again, make sure you plug the correct module in here, because this module will collect up those remote control signals at that remote location, then send them back to the other site through this wireless connection. Finally, to the right of that is another DC port, and that's for the second power supply at the remote location. Just plug it into a wall outlet. The other end has the barrel connection on it. Plug it right in there, and that'll provide all the power you'll need at that remote location. And that's it for the pair. The OREI WUHD3-165-K is compatible with a wide range of modern media products, including streaming devices, computer systems, digital projectors, game consoles, and media players like Apple TV. The product's features include full support of 4K media content. It provides plug-and-play installation for most media devices. It is both HDMI 1.4 as well as HDCP 1.4 compliant. It offers 165 feet of extension between the primary and secondary locations over a wireless connection, and offers local loopback functionality as well as infrared blaster control of your content. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the media content I'd like to share with my second location. Over here I've set up another monitor, and this represents the remote location where I'd like to enjoy the content from that primary side. And these can be up to 165 feet apart. In front of me, I have the transmitter module here, which is located at the primary side, and the receiver module here, which is located at the secondary side. Now, the first set of connections I'll make are to the transmitter module, and I'll start by connecting the media player directly up to the unit by disconnecting it from the monitor, then plugging this HDMI cable into the HDMI input port on the back of the transmitter. And now we're ready to add power. I've already plugged in the power supply. The other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the DC input port on the back of the transmitter. And now we're ready to connect the receiver up at the remote location. I have another HDMI cable connected to this monitor, which I'll plug into the HDMI output port in the receiver, and power to the DC input port. Now, the minute I add power to both of these modules, they immediately start that internal power on self-test where they're checking the electronics. This one is also checking the resolution of the media device, and this one is checking the resolution of the monitor, and they're starting to communicate over that Wi-Fi network, and they're negotiating the best possible picture on that secondary site. That takes a couple of seconds for it to happen, and once it finishes, you'll see that image pop up over here. There you go. So what you're viewing here is content from the primary side that's been converted into a signal that can be sent over the Wi-Fi network and then converted back into an HDMI signal for presentation on this monitor. And again, 165 feet between the two. Now, one other nice feature of the transmitter is that it provides local loopback functionality, which allows me to continue to enjoy the content here while I'm simultaneously sharing it with the remote location. And to use that feature, you'll need a second HDMI cable, and you'll plug that into the HDMI output port on the transmitter, and the other end of the cable back into the monitor at that primary location. Now, once I do that, the transmitter realizes I've plugged in a monitor, and it's going to have to readjust the resolution because these may be different resolution monitors, and that takes a second to happen. And there you go at the remote site, and there you are at the primary site. So that feature is really nice because without it, you wouldn't be able to watch the content here that you were sharing with your remote location. Now, one other big feature that this product provides is that a single transmitter can support up to 4 receivers at the same time. So if you have content that you want to display on multiple monitors, all you have to do is add additional receivers, just simply plug them in, connect them up to the monitor, and they'll sync up with the transmitter over that Wi-Fi network. And that's really handy if you've got content at home that you want to display in multiple rooms, or if you're at a trade show and you've got the same content that you'd like to broadcast to 4 monitors at the same time, this system can handle it. And it really is just that simple to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI WUHD3-165-K wireless HDMI extension kit helpful. This product provides a very simple way for you to share all of your HDMI media content from one location with a second remote location up to 165 feet away over a simple wireless connection. The product fully supports 4K media content and is both HDMI 1.4 as well as HDCP 1.4 compliant, which means it's plug-and-play compatible with a wide range of different media devices. The transmitter module also provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to continue to enjoy the content at the primary site while you're simultaneously sharing it with your remote location. And the kit includes a set of infrared blasters that provide complete remote control of the content from that secondary site. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks for watching.